Argentine football is in crisis. The once vibrant and dominant force in the world of football is now a shadow of its former self. This is not a new story. The decline has been gradual, almost imperceptible at times, but unmistakable in its trajectory. The warning signs have been flashing for years. From dwindling attendance to the lack of investment in grassroots football, the symptoms are clear. The once mighty national team struggles to compete on the world stage. Their performances have been lackluster, and the results speak for themselves. Local clubs are starved of resources and talent. The infrastructure is crumbling, and the facilities are outdated. The heart of Argentine football, its players, are disappearing. Where have they gone? Many have sought opportunities abroad, lured by the promise of better pay and conditions. And how can this proud footballing nation find its way back to glory? The passion of its fans remains undimmed, but passion alone is not enough. The decline has been slow, insidious. It's a rot that has set in over decades, eroding the very foundations of the sport in the country. It's easy to point to specific moments of disappointment. The missed goals, the near misses, the heartbreaks on the field. The 2014 World Cup final defeat, a moment that still haunts the collective memory of the nation. The early exits from recent tournaments, each one a blow to the nation's pride and a reminder of how far they've fallen. But the roots of the crisis run much deeper. They are not just about the game, but about the very fabric of Argentine society. They are intertwined with the country's turbulent economic history, the cycles of boom and bust that have left their mark on every aspect of life, the mismanagement of its footballing institutions, plagued by corruption and inefficiency, and the allure of wealthier leagues abroad. Talented players are leaving in droves, seeking greener pastures. Argentine football is at a crossroads. The choices made now will determine its future. The passion of its fans remains undimmed. They are the lifeblood of the sport, the ones who keep the flame alive. But the structures that nurture and develop talent are crumbling. Without investment and vision, the future looks bleak. The exodus of players is a symptom of a deeper malaise. It's a sign that the system is failing them. It's time to confront the crisis head-on, to rebuild from the ground up, with a focus on youth development and sustainable growth. The future of Argentine football hangs in the balance. The decisions made today will shape the destiny of the sport for generations to come. Argentina's economic woes are no secret. The country has been grappling with financial instability for years, and the effects are felt in every corner of society. The country has been trapped in a cycle of boom and bust for decades. Each economic downturn brings with it a wave of uncertainty and hardship for the people. This instability has had a devastating impact on Argentine football. Once a powerhouse in the sport, the country's clubs are now struggling to maintain their former glory. Clubs are struggling to stay afloat, let alone compete financially with their European counterparts. The disparity in resources is stark and growing. The Argentine peso has been devalued time and time again. This relentless devaluation erodes the financial stability of clubs, making it harder to plan for the future. This makes it increasingly difficult for clubs to hold on to their best players. Talented athletes are often lured away by the promise of better pay and more stable conditions abroad. European clubs, flush with cash from lucrative TV deals, can offer Argentine players salaries that dwarf what they can earn at home. The financial incentives are simply too great to ignore. The lure of European football is not just financial. It's also about the opportunity to play in the most prestigious leagues in the world, against the best players. It's a chance to showcase their skills on a global stage, to compete in tournaments like the UEFA Champions League, and to be part of a football culture that is revered worldwide. For many Argentine players, leaving is no longer a choice. It's a necessity. The economic situation at home leaves them with little option but to seek opportunities abroad. The economic crisis has also had a knock-on effect on the development of young players. With clubs cutting back on youth academies and scouting networks, the future of Argentine football looks uncertain. Clubs are cutting back on youth academies and scouting networks. This means that fewer young players are getting the opportunity to develop their talent in a structured environment. The pipeline of future stars is drying up, and the long-term consequences could be dire. The pool of homegrown talent is shrinking. Without significant investment and a stable economic environment, the future of Argentine football remains in jeopardy. The Argentine Football Association, AFA, has been plagued by corruption scandals for years. These scandals have not only affected the administration, but have also trickled down to the very core of the sport. This has created an atmosphere of distrust and instability among fans, players, and officials alike. The once vibrant stadiums now echo with the silence of disillusioned supporters. It has also discouraged investment in the game, leading to empty training facilities and inactive club offices. The lack of funds has stunted the growth of promising young talents. The AFA has been accused of everything from embezzlement to match-fixing. These serious allegations have led to high-profile arrests and ongoing investigations. These allegations have tarnished the reputation of Argentine football, leaving fans and players disheartened. The once proud flags now hang tarnished and forgotten. The lack of transparency and accountability within the AFA has made it difficult to attract sponsors and investors. Companies are reluctant to associate their brands with a tainted organization. This has further exacerbated the financial problems facing Argentine clubs. Many clubs are struggling to pay their bills, and some have even had to close their facilities. The AFA's failure to address the issue of corruption has created a vicious cycle. The more corruption there is, the less money flows into the game, and the more the sport suffers. The less money there is in the game, the more vulnerable it becomes to corruption. This cycle of financial struggle and corruption feeds on itself, making it harder to break. The constant scandals and controversies surrounding the AFA have also been a distraction for players. Instead of focusing on their game, they are often caught up in the turmoil off the field. They want to focus on playing football, not worrying about whether the game is being run fairly. Their determination to succeed is overshadowed by the chaos in the administration. The AFA needs to clean up its act if it wants to restore confidence in Argentine football. Only through genuine reform and transparency can the sport regain its former glory. The rise of Major League Soccer, MLS, in the United States has presented another challenge for Argentine football. MLS clubs are increasingly targeting young South American players. They offer them the chance to play in a competitive league, in a stable environment with good wages. For many young Argentines, MLS is a more attractive proposition than staying at home. The exodus of players to MLS is a worrying trend for Argentine football. MLS is still a developing league, but it is improving all the time. As MLS clubs become more competitive, they will continue to attract top talent from South America. This could have a devastating impact on the future of Argentine football. The AFA needs to find a way to counter the allure of MLS. This will require investment in youth development, improved infrastructure, and a more stable and transparent governance structure. Section 5. Dual nationality. A band-aid solution? The AFA has been actively scouting players with dual nationality, particularly those with Argentine heritage living in Europe. This is seen as a way to compensate for the lack of homegrown talent. While it may offer a short-term fix, it does little to address the underlying problems facing Argentine football. Relying on players with dual nationality is not a sustainable solution. It creates a disconnect between the national team and the fans. It also does nothing to nurture the development of young players within Argentina. The focus should be on rebuilding the foundations of Argentine football, not on quick fixes. Section 6. A lost generation. The youth development gap. The decline of youth development is perhaps the most worrying aspect of the crisis facing Argentine football. Argentina has a long and proud history of producing world-class players. But the production line has slowed to a trickle. This is due to a combination of factors. The economic crisis has forced many clubs to cut back on their youth academies. The lack of investment in infrastructure means that many young players are training in substandard facilities. The exodus of experienced coaches to wealthier leagues has also had an impact. The AFA needs to make youth development a priority. This will require a significant investment in infrastructure, coaching, and scouting. It will also require a change in mentality. The focus needs to shift from short-term fixes to long-term solutions. Section 7. The specter of privatization. A controversial debate. The idea of privatizing Argentine football clubs is a controversial one. Proponents argue that it would bring in much-needed investment and improve the management of clubs. Opponents fear that it would lead to the Americanization of the game, with clubs becoming more focused on profits than on their fans or their communities. The debate over privatization is complex, and there are strong arguments on both sides. However, it is clear that the current model is not sustainable. The AFA needs to find a way to attract investment in Argentine football without sacrificing the soul of the game. Section 8. Rebuilding from the ground up. A path forward. The crisis facing Argentine football is complex. There is no easy solution. However, there are a number of steps that can be taken to address the underlying problems. These include investing in youth development. This is essential if Argentina is to produce the next generation of world-class players. Tackling corruption. The AFA needs to clean up its act and restore confidence in Argentine football. Improving infrastructure. Investing in better training facilities and stadiums will make the game more attractive to players and fans alike. Finding a sustainable financial model. This could involve a combination of private investment, government support, and fan ownership. Rebuilding Argentine football will require a collective effort. The AFA, the clubs, the players, and the fans all have a role to play. Section 9. A nation's passion. Can Argentine football be revived? The passion for football in Argentina runs deep. It is woven into the fabric of the nation. But passion alone is not enough. The crisis facing Argentine football is real. It is a crisis of economics, of governance, and of identity. The challenges are significant, but they are not insurmountable. With the right leadership, the right investment, and the unwavering support of its passionate fans, Argentine football can be revived. The journey will be long and arduous, but the prize is worth fighting for. The future of Argentine football is at stake.